Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back.
Boom!
That's the answer. This is the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we are getting back into House of the Dragon. This is Season 2, Episode 4, and it has been it's been the wild ride that I completely expected. Nothing is off limits on this show, obviously. So let's see where it goes from here.
Yeah, we saw some fun time and we saw a meeting go wrong, so I'm definitely ready, willing, and able to see what is the aftermath of that.
Tensions are rising. Between whom, you might ask? Everyone. Tensions rising.
I thought he was talking about the great wrestler Tara rising. All right, with that, let's go!
Hey, shout out to all you folks out there in the comments for helping me with the dragon count and who's got who and where's everybody at with the number of dragons. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and then they spoke of the tree.
Yeah, and the tree as well. So, ooh, they had that go across the neck there.
Yeah, right there.
The rat catchers. Ugh. Okay, so they are definitely tweaking the intros.
Yeah, I got to pay a little bit more attention to these.
What? I can't understand.
Oh, he's seeing her more yet.
Speak plainly. Stop.
Kesir, henkejut, ao halekia, ao tuliot joraltis.
Oh!
Ramoriot lildur iri kisir Isador. There's been a raven.
Oh.
Oh, it's...
Oh.
Oh!
That was...
He sleep next to his sword to grab it or something?
Oh, he's
No,
not...
that's gone.
Yeah.
Let's see what your Lord Paramount is made of.
My prince, my grace.
Sword's bigger than him.
Lord Grover is looking more hale and healthy than I expected.
This is Sir Oscar Tully, grandson to Grover Tully. He is heir to Riverrun and the future Lord Paramount of the Riverlands. His Grace, the King Consort, Daemon Targaryen.
It is an honor, your grace.
Indeed. How fares your grandsire?
Mason Quinn loves the word grandsire.
Sadly, he remains incapacitated. He lies in a kind of waking sleep, unable to do much more than take meager drink. It is barely enough to sustain him.
So he's alive?
Yes. Gods be good.
Well, my time is short and I have need of an army. Perhaps you might place a feather pillow over his head and speed along your inheritance.
Oh, jeez.
Shit.
I love my grandsire. Like a father.
Grandsire.
It's just like, man, you gotta do it, kid.
Are you here to speak with your grandsire's voice for House Tully in the Riverlands?
While he still lives?
Why are you here, then?
Yeah.
It is not our way.
Then you're of no use to me. I can see why the Blackwoods and the Brackens did not fear to start a war beneath the nose of their liege lords. House Tully is a fish with no head. Remind me, which of your countrymen claimed to fight in the name of Aegon? Was it Bracken or Blackwood?
It was House Bracken that declared green, your Grace.
Who could remember? I require men of action to lead my host of rivermen.
Well, I don't know what the kid thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Milady.
Milady.
And you are Alan?
Yes, Princess.
I'm given to understand my lord husband owes you his life. But I was not told his saviour was so comely. Your mother must have been very beautiful.
Rhaenys.
Is your work finished? No, my lord.
Way to put me on the spot.
I just had a word with your captains. He was the sailor who plucked you from your watery grave.
Yes.
You did not think to mention it. I came to tell you that Baylor has called me to Dragonstone.
Baylor?
That councillor's going to dine on her and Jace for supper. They grow restless in Rhaenyra's absence.
Still. Where has that woman gone?
I suspect to try and draw us all back from the abyss.
Oh,
Broke it again.
Get the super glue.
You know, yeah, they had that every corner, right next to the uranium.
As requested. I brewed it myself.
Thank you. I will see it delivered discreetly.
Do report if the recipient has need of any remedy. The tea is known to disagree with the gut.
I shall observe the girl closely.
It's basically medieval Plan B.
Yeah. It's not the first time they've used it on the show.
Nope.
No.
You've ever been a practical man, an honourable servant to the crown, and you served my lord husband in his darkest hours.
Such was my duty, Your Grace.
Tell me, do you believe Viserys wanted Aegon to succeed him?
Oh.
I could not know. His Grace never raised the matter with me.
Nice and...
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's going to say one way or the other.
Yes, yeah, he did. So what of it? You're wrong.
I'm sure he likes to keep his head right where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord Criston.
So yes, isn't he a sir now?
The Criston Cole's host has taken to exploiting the tree cover to conceal its movements. He now only travels by night to confound our dragon.
And what is Cole's heading?
It is difficult to say, but there were signs of an army moving northwest, I believe.
She believes.
You should have burned them when you had the chance.
Perhaps you can, Sir Alfred, when you next sight them on your dragon.
What do we know, my prince? If you ask me, it is little and less.
We know that Cole possesses a host that is growing in strength and that it is a problem.
Can Daemon hope to meet it with his own in time? If I know the Riverlands, he has more disentangling ahead of him than the end of a Lysini orgy.
We do not know the Queen's doings, but we must trust that she seeks the same as each of us at this table. An end to this conflict.
We're going back here again? Well, this is different.
Something Sir Criston.
Yeah.
Men of House Darkland, all who bend the knee to the true King Aegon will be spared. You can earn back your honor by raising his banner and fighting in his name against the whore of Dragonstone. All who refuse will have their death.
It's like, who we bowing to this week? Okay, yep, whatever.
Is there no honor left in this world, Cole? Sacking your queen's own castles and putting up people to the sword? Kingmaker. You're not fit for the White Cloak.
This is a better death than a traitor deserves. You should thank me for it.
Yours will come in kind.
Oh.
Yeah, they're all following suit.
We'll lead the van northeast. Follow the coastline.
Realized you were neither born nor bred anywhere near the Crown lands, my good Lord Han. But Harrenhal is to the west.
Indeed it is.
Huh.
You. Daemon, of all people, has taken Harrenhal. I give you a job, and now you just sit there. It's your castle!
Well, that castle is more crippled than I am, Your Grace.
It's got a point.
As he attempts to make use of it, which is beyond his faculties. It is also penniless, as I happily control all of its gold. So, as Harrenhal saps Daemon's resolve, the false queen remains trapped on her island, and Sir Criston continues felling castles in the Crown lands. What?
After Cole smashes it, we'll have Dragonstone effectively cut off by land. This war will not be won with dragons alone, but with dragons flying behind armies of men.
No, have him turn about. I want Harrenhal back.
Cole is already preparing his attack.
Ooh, defying his king.
He sent word to me.
To you?
To you?
Well, sent word to you, but...
The two of you have been plotting without my authority.
Well...
Gaumaus ne hortami repagon aeopevoles. Lokoston kodabri predagon. Rosia potaule de repagon. Sielvotaro mi sirto mitiripiti vetogon.
Alice, not wrong.
Uvinoni maderisnios. Luixos. Aojos sutioto punto ui vestragon avisuti libas, audli non gieri.
Oh, he did not like what he did to him down in the party zone.
No, he did not.
Oh, this is getting tense.
the slow turn and side eye.
Segi ton Billy Vazni.
Awkward.
Harrenhal is a useful morass. It will keep Daemon well occupied while we strengthen our host and weaken Rhaenyra's support on the mainland. We will deal with it in the Riverlands in time.
Ho, ho, ho.
Rook's Rest is an easy target and a worthy effort. Don't you agree, my king?
I think we know who the real king is. Starting to show his colors.
Oh, wow. So he is the shot caller right now.
Lord Larys.
I thought I'd look in on you, Your Grace. After your absence from the small council, I feared something was amiss.
You're kind to do so, my lord, but indulgence was my sin. I ventured into the lamprey pie at last night's supper. Too far, I fear.
Lamprey pie?
Oh, you saw the bottle.
He's covered himself in glory, to be sure.
You must worry for him. Your sworn sword on the march, ever exposed to dragons, it is a perilous road.
Sir Criston is the hand of the king. We should all pray for his victory and safe return.
Indeed.
Oh, God, he's so greasy. I love it.
What's he up to? What's he gonna pitch?
If I may be so bold, my queen, you have not sinned yourself of late.
Only weeks ago, my lord husband was alive, and the realm was at peace. Now I've barely had the hours to grieve one tragedy before suffering the next. I regret if I have not been myself. The voices of history guided Viserys. He knew that his wisdom alone could only reach so far.
Do you think that is why he changed his mind? In the end, voices of history, as you say, would have told him how the realm would react to her
It's
succession.
impossible to know what steered his thoughts in those final hours.
Do you now doubt his intentions?
Well, I had a meeting with, whoa, I don't, you almost walked into that one.
Rhaenyra's supporters will believe what they wish, and so will Aegon's.
I mean...
The war will be fought, many will die, and the victor will eventually ascend the throne. The significance of Viserys' intentions died with him.
Oof.
Yes, it did.
Well, I think they both know, or my speculation is that they're both thinking that she was right, Rhaenyra.
Oh, I thought he was a kip up.
Guy sure is having a lot of strange dreams.
It's them trees.
Dream sequence. Is that him seeing him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Aemond.
No, I was seeing. I was asking, is it him seeing himself?
Oh yeah. I thought that was Aemond's hair for a minute. Yeah.
He could be seeing them as well, but it could be like how we just saw a younger Rhaenyra. He could Rhaenyra, that he could be seeing a younger version of himself that he hasn't talked to or something.
That's Aemond's hair, though. I think.
Well, we'll find out.
And I saw the eye patch.
Yeah, it was Aemond. Oh, that's him with an eye patch.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh. What are we seeing here? Just in here making bread.
You.
I'm called Alice.
So what are you then? Some kind of maester?
In a manner of speaking. I inherited the duties after the last one fled in the night.
Fled? Why?
Just never settled in.
Oh boy.
What is that she's making?
You know the face of tortured rest well enough. Sleep can be thin in this place.
What would you know of my sleep?
Harrenhal's been cursed since its first stone was laid. You experienced anything of note?
You are a strange kind of woman.
I'm no woman at all. I'm a barn owl. Cursed to live in human form. You arrive here alone to claim the castle and yet send no ravens. Do you now plan to make your own claim? Perhaps to prove yourself, Dad.
Do not try me with your insolence, witch.
It's a hard thing, I imagine.
Witch.
I mean, does it please you that her legitimacy is contested as you stand here with a castle and a dragon, attempting to draw an army of men?
All right, she's not real.
Here, drink this.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
I once vied for Queen Rhaenyra's hand before she wed Seleno. I was like her spirit. She had the true blood of the dragon.
And you're prepared to march without the leave of your...
He is definitely becoming unhinged.
Is any of this even happening?
It's probably somebody pouring the wine, but he's seeing the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
And once you and your dragon bring the Queen's justice to the Brackens, our armies will be yours.
Our lords in the Crown Lands, their herds of livestock struggle to keep...
I'm really liking him.
Oh my god, and then his face as he's doing it.
Well, Cole's done splendidly at the least, turning every castle and army he's faced, including Duskendale, God's bless.
He's doing it again.
Both Aemond and Vhagar also at the ready. We are a formidable opponent.
You bore me. You all bore me.
I mean, he's so great. Oh, man. Let's just hope he doesn't do anything too terrible to make me regret saying that.
We're just saying that about the actor.
Right.
I mean, he was a man of the people for a bit.
What are you doing here?
Where are your father's books?
I ordered them removed.
With no thought to the centuries of knowledge in those pages.
I'm willing to bet that wasn't in the script.
What is it?
They don't care what I think.
Well...
My council, Cole, Aemond, they pursue their campaign without seeking my aid, or even my thoughts.
What thoughts would you have?
I'm the king.
Fair, but what are your thoughts?
Those men at your council table earned their seats. It's my hope that, once enthroned, you would honour the burden of your new duties, be silent, and strive to learn from the more studied minds around you, in the hope that you might be half the king your father was.
Half.
I ruled in your father's absence throughout his long illness, and Otto Hightower was as cunning a statesman as ever lived. You should humbly be seeking our opinions in council. You have no idea the sacrifices that were made to put you on that throne.
They made me forget about the rat catchers. Whoops.
What would you have me do, Mother?
Do simply what is needed of you. Nothing.
Be the quarterback. Take all the credit.
Just let it happen.
All the blame.
More of a game manager.
To battle!
It's like, again?
It's broad daylight. We must hold here and ready ourselves to lay siege at nightfall.
We shall move now and strike by day. They will not expect it.
They will not expect it because it is f***ing mad.
I love these two as dynamic.
You out on the road to Rosby?
I did not.
Dragonstone and their dragons are just across the bay. What, grown tired of living, have you?
You're afraid, sir?
Worse.
Yeah.
And rational.
Thank you.
Nice response.
Huh.
Guys, we just set up camp. We're just gonna go.
Got a nice fire going.
Yeah. Found some clean water. We just cut down those 3 trees. We just cut them down. Oh, they're finally back.
We need to send a dragon.
Where?
We made some plans while you're gone.
To support the war that your vassals have been fighting in your absence.
Your Grace.
Whoa.
You vanished without so much as a word.
I apologise for my absence and the secrecy, but such was necessary. I went to King's Landing.
To what possible end?
To meet Queen Alicent and sue for peace.
You saw Alicent?
Yes, I did.
You could have been taken or slain.
I inherited 80 years of peace from my father. Before I was to end it, I needed to know that there was no other path. And now I do.
Oh,
Yep.
Here we go. Here we go.
Cole's victories have only emboldened him. He marches on Rook's Rest.
His host was just hours away when Lord Staunton's ravens took wing.
Rook's Rest? After Duskendale? It's but a small coastal keep.
Because Lord Staunton is a member of this council, and because his castle is small and vulnerable and there for the taking. Cole knows we have no army on the mainland.
He is brazen.
He is daring us.
Taking the easy
You
ones.
need to send a dragon.
Oh, she's got something cooking.
Can my caution for weakness? Let that be their undoing.
Oh.
I will go.
My queen.
You cannot.
I will not loose dragons to war whilst I hide here in my castle.
Our allies raise their banners for you.
Yes, they do.
If you die, all is lost. I will burn Cole's lines and withdraw before King's Landing could even
You lack
raise
the
alarm.
experience.
You must send me, Your Grace. Melis is your largest dragon and no stranger to battle.
Oh, that dragon is a straight badass. Let's go.
Was that a yes?
Oh, hope they have some scorpions.
That was her being save some badass for me. Well, because Alicent is correcting him, like, yes, there was a lot of peace, but he had a good council around him.
Yep.
To help.
Lit.
No, don't, he's gonna be like a cat. No. He is. He's gonna.
Is he a cat?
That actor is doing such a good job.
I love him. He is perfect.
1 minute you love him, the next minute you hate him.
Well, because you kind of can see where he's coming from too. It's like nobody's taking him seriously, but he has to learn what to do for the throne.
For your claim and mine,
There's something I need to tell you, Jace. Something I should have told you.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
It's a secret. But Viserys told me when he named me his successor. And it has passed from king to heir.
Oh, look at that.
Since Aegon the Conqueror's time.
Oh, he's just hammered, getting ready to fly.
The Targaryen, who sits the Iron Throne, is not just a king
That
or a
would be
queen.
cool, having a pet.
They are a protector. Ordained to lead the Seven Kingdoms, to strengthen them, and to unite them.
Here we go. She's laying it all out there. Answer doesn't know, but we know. Sorry.
Whoa, what is that?
Battering ram to get through the front door.
Yeah.
My father believed that I alone was meant to be this protector.
They're 1,500 strong at least, my lord.
But to unite the realm, I had to send the dragons to war. The horrors I have just loosed cannot be for a crown alone. That is why I must believe what Viserys told me when he named me his heir. What Jacaerys had told him.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And what I will now tell you.
Can he even see straight?
What is it?
Aegon the Conqueror's dream. He called it the Song of Ice and Fire.
That's a lot of arrows. Yeah, let's attack during the day. That guy have a crossbow?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Here they come.
Yeah, but is that...
Yeah, which one?
You may as well have sounded horns to announce our coming.
Order the Darkland levies to break off and move ahead. We must keep the dragon's attention divided.
It's Aegon. He's going to torch the castle. Or not.
No. Oh! Oh! We're getting it.
Wait a minute.
Oh, who's he got there waiting?
It's Aemond with his dragon. Holy shit. It's Aemond with his dragon.
Oh, hurry.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
And there goes Aegon.
Yep. All gassed up.
Well, that's Aemond right there.
Vega, Sir Daor.
Oh my god,
He
is that
doesn't
fucking cool.
He's got all the moss on him and stuff. Oh, it's wicked.
There's...
He's just
should have had him cross-eyed when he's doing it.
Oh, there goes your battering ram.
Yeah. Oh, one of them.
Are we gonna lose the king?
Are we gonna lose?
No.
Are we gonna lose one of them?
This was your secret plot, Carl.
No.
For the king himself to lay ambush and mayhap die in the attempt. No. This small signal out!
Yeah, the other dragon doesn't even want to get involved.
No, I think
because he saw it. Aemond saw it.
Put him down, you think? Okay, I thought maybe
that's
the
what he was
dragons-
saying. He told him to wait.
Yeah.
For the one true king, Aegon!
Well, they're gonna try and use him.
Okay, so here's it. Did Aemond tell the dragon to get down because he wants to see Aegon get taken out?
He wants to see him. I think he wants to see him either see the fight or flight.
Yeah, see what happens. I don't like his chances going up against that.
I'm pretty sure Aemon doesn't know that he's a little
She's
sauced.
not even worried. Look at her. Look at the dragon she's on. I think she dodged it.
She's way more experienced than him. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh! Oh! Oh, we're gonna lose the dragon! Oh! Recover! Oh, just dumping blood.
Oh, there's Aemon's dragon. It's about to get real ugly. Holy shit, look at that thing.
Wow!
Oh, God, we're about to lose another dragon.
I thought Sunfire was going to be done for. Still might be.
Oh, well, the king is still on Sunfire, so he can't. Uh-oh.
No, he's going to do it to both of them.
Holy shit, what?
He's going to nuke them both.
Oh, that dragon is fried.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
Did she get away?
I think so.
Yep, she did.
Oh, for now.
I think that was his plan all along. I mean, not all along, but once he saw him, yeah. Okay. Boy, they are really tricking us here. I don't know what direction it's going with this battle.
Oh, she's going after the big dragon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can get a true comparison.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Bit of a size difference there. But
unless one was higher. No, okay, they weren't.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the size difference.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him just in a spiral. Oh. Holy shit.
Oh, is it? Oh, I was going to say if they ended it there, that would have been a good ending. Great cliffhanger, but
she's still hanging in there.
It's got a bad hind leg. I'm assuming she's going to look up or down and something's not going to be good.
Is she going back?
Probably.
She's not going to retreat, I don't think.
Oh, she's looking for
Aemon. That's a look of she knows this could be her last ride, and there it was.
Right by the neck.
Right in the neck.
Oh no! What?
Yeah, the way she strapped herself
and then
in,
right on the
she knew it was her
castle.
last ride.
Oh shit! Rhaenyra just lost her and the biggest dragon she had.
Yeah.
The old knocked out.
Yeah.
The worst.
And then is that the air you want to be breathing in? Oh.
Oh man, look at these guys. They're just torched.
Oh, and Sir Gawain gets to take the castle.
Yep.
The king has fallen. We must find him.
Oh. Oh.
Aemond!
Sunfire grumbles. Is he still alive?
Where is his grace?
Ooh.
And they're gonna blame it on Rhaenys.
Mm-hmm. I think
Stoke the fire.
I think we just saw our new king walk off screen, perhaps.
I think so.
Wow, what an episode. Holy shit, was that good?
Wow.
So much happened in this episode.
It's a few things.
I'm gonna try to not be biased here just because we had a massive dragon battle, which right off the bat, I gotta say, I felt worse for what happened to the dragons than I think any of the players that have been involved here so far.
Monster.
Because everybody's slimy in their own way, right? Like, I was really starting to I was starting to really be amused by Aegon and the way he was acting this whole episode, and because the actor was playing it so well, and it was I mean, everybody does a good job on this show, but and let me know if this has happened to you folks watching, where sometimes you maybe watch an episode and an actor or their character, thank you, Answer, really has like a breakout episode, and you're just like, oh man, I'm really liking them. Now, unfortunately, a lot of times when that happens, that's the character's last scene. We've seen that with a number of shows that we've done. Now, we didn't see it, so we don't know. We don't know for sure.
We saw him laying.
We didn't face Quinn's tagline here on the channel. If we didn't see it.
Isn't it basically on the show? And if they still have their head, they're usually going to be alive.
Usually.
You know?
And I mean, like, I mean, honestly, like, and I don't know if you guys felt the same way. I genuinely felt bad for Sunfire. I was just like, oh no, why did the dragon have to get it?
That always goes back to look at the first or second episode where
dog
when they were mad that once they hit the dog, we're like, all right,
these guys are done.
We're done.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it always is in movies. You never like to see animals or pets get it.
No, so I think they purposely left that open-ended, so we don't know if the king is gone or not, or if Sunfire's in any condition to ever be in any kind of usable condition at all. That could be like the last breath before he has to be put down, maybe. I mean, who knows what's going on. But and again, they just showed how Aegon was in over his head. He had the incompetent guards bumping into each other before they left. I mean, that was just... If that was an accident, it was one of the happiest accidents that we've had. Just leave that in.
So, I thought that was amazing.
But if it wasn't, it does show how in over his head the king is, how he's just kind of being drug along for the ride while everybody else does their thing, which makes sense, right? Like, these guys have been around for decades and have seen, battles. They lived through the peace that Viserys had, so they have an idea of how things work. He's just being thrown in there, acting very irrationally, so it makes sense. So in that battle, both sides lost something. Rhaenyra lost the biggest dragon that they have, and we potentially lost our king on the other side. So again, the next episode's going to be, hopefully it's just going to be awesome, and we pick right up where we left off. I hope they don't, shoot over to something else. Daemon and all his visions with what was going on there.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was real, what wasn't. Was the witch type character that he met,
Alice Rivers,
was she even real? Because he was seeing a lot of stuff go on, and I think some of it was the castle, some of it was the trees, some of it was his own guilt. His character was really, really interesting this episode, and kind of wanting to see what his end game is, or where he goes from here, given everything that's happened, will be pretty interesting. And Cole's plan was, that was so weird. Like when we all commented on it, I think he was going to go fight in battle in broad daylight, and what was the purpose of that? Well, now we saw how that battle kind of played out and what it cost. So who knows how that's going to play out once he gets back, or if he gets back, and who's going to be in charge now. And again, you folks out there will have to help me out, because I don't know the exact chain of command that happens. If Aegon is done, who takes over for him? Is it his brother? Is it Alicent? You know, who kind of assumes power there? So you'll have to let me know, or I'll just wait until next week to find out. But this episode was awesome. Rest in peace to the dragons we lost. felt bad, and part of that's because of how on on Game of Thrones, the dragons were so rare. We didn't get to see them. They were eggs, and they were these little guys, and it's like we didn't get the big reveal till much later on. So I hate to lose the dragons.
Yeah, that was that was my first dragon battle. You know, that was the first one I saw with these guys, and it was sad to see Sunfire go, because that was their biggest, and yet it paled in comparison.
Not Sunfire. That was on Aegon.
Sunfire.
The biggest
Aegon.
one.
Well, then
was
what?
Aemon's. Aemon had the big one.
Well, I know Aemon had the biggest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhaenyra I thought was on Sunfire.
No,
Rhaenys was on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Aegon was on.
King. The king Aemon. Aegon was on. Sunfire.
Well, because I heard Dracer or whatever for when he was attacking and going towards it. Well, whatever.
Either way.
Well, Sunfire and then the other one are both gone that Rhaenys was on.
Yeah. There you go.
And so, like, that was their biggest one, and then it paled in comparison to Aemon's.
Yes.
There's
Vygar? Is that his dragon?
That's not what I thought. Well, at least I know Sunfire was one of them that is gone.
Sunfire,
so that one is huge. So like once I got a hold of the neck area, it was done for. But first I thought it was like the comeuppance was coming when Rhaenyra was like caution for weakness. I was like, all right, well here comes the hurt
and
from
they
them.
both kind of felt like that. Both Alicent and Rhaenyra kind of had that moment where.
But then of course that the whole comeuppance came from that, and then he had Aemond was still furious at Aegon Aemon from let me get this name. I'm going Aemond and Aegon. I'm going so fast with them. But Aemond is so mad at Aegon from what we witnessed the last episode that you could see that he was going against him at the High Council, essentially making Aegon feel alone, that he started drinking. He went to his mom for help. Didn't seem like he got it there too well. I mean, to be fair, though, I do see her point. It's like, her late husband, he had a whole council, and he did listen to everyone. And I don't know, it seemed to work. They had 80 years of peace. Am I right? Yeah. I mean, it seemed to work. For all the sliminess that everyone was around, he knew how to move the pieces around to make sure that they stayed in peace, because that's what he was all about. And so then you had you pull a drain. So then he goes into it, and like he's not even thinking properly. He had his, like you said, his dim-witted nights, which while you're saying it, I replayed the scene because it's so funny. I don't know if they'll make the cut or not, but I do not think that was in the script. And then once they did, they're like, this is perfect. Or I could even see the actors going like, hey, it'd be let's do it.
Fitting.
It'd be fitting. Let's just do it. And like the director could have easily saw it and be like, ooh, I like that. We'll keep that in, because that shows how uncommon. Because I mean, they were basically, as you guys put in the comments, his friends and hype man in previous episodes. So yeah, like the one was sitting there too while he's at the council. He's like,
checking his armor's
going
chafing.
like this, and it's like he's surrounded himself by not the right people. But I mean, to be fair too, he's also a teenager, so he might not know any better. So that was amazing. But still, that dragon battle, and then how Cole like thought battle is won, on the ground, and then we had the dragons come in and basically like they're pawns. They're like, if you know anything about chess, pawns are expendable, and that just showed what they all are as pawns. But then one of you mentioned it also at the end, where Gwaine gets to go to the castle and basically take the victory, which I don't know how well they'll play in, because now Cole's got to go back to Alicent and be like, Yeah, kind of got one of your sons taken out by accident.
Yeah.
By
But to
accident.
be fair, maybe if Alicent was a little bit better mother, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Just saying.
Well, she's been having her own turmoil too, which she made a point of it. Like, how have I not been myself? We've had 80 years of peace, and then this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
How am I not being me right now? So yeah, and then I didn't even touch on the Daemon thing, which that is still wild to me as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so Aegon's dragon was Sunfire, Rhaenys' dragon was Melee's, and then Vhagar is Aemond's dragon. So, yeah, I mean, that's a major problem for Rhaenyra, as Melee's was the biggest dragon that she had on her side. Of course, Vhagar, from what they've told us, if I recall correctly, is the biggest dragon in the realm. And it's very dangerous that he's being flown by Aemond. So now there's massive problems.
2 stones.
Not only are they down a dragon, they're down their best dragon, and or their biggest dragon. I shouldn't necessarily say best, but obviously Rhaenys played a huge role in the first season. Now in this season,
that sucks.
And not only, I mean, you could probably make an argument, that she's the best dragon flyer. I think the thing with the dragons. That hit hard. Answer brought up a good point. Look, in any movie, any film, I think people get very attached to the animals, whether it be real creatures or fictional. Of course,
John Wick.
When we watched Harry Potter, like Buckbeak, I was like, oh, I mean, that was really intense stuff.
Dobby.
Animals. Dobby's not an animal. He's a house elf. But
he's a free house elf.
He's a free elf.
Free elf.
I think the big thing with the dragon, we have a show where is there any real loyalty? I mean, there's backstabbing and scheming and plotting, and it just doesn't seem like there's any real loyalty anywhere. But the dragons are fiercely loyal to their riders, and literally, there's no backing down. I mean, we saw Melee's get absolutely torched by Vhagar and went right back into battle. And we saw Sunfire just getting torn open by Melee's and did what Aegon was telling it. So I think that's kind of the connection. One, again, it's an animal. Two, there's a historical fascination with dragons,
right, across all cultures.
And we've seen, of course, a ton of different movies and TV shows do dragons, and for my money, Game of Thrones, House of Dragon has done the best. So it's like you take this fictional creature and you do such an amazing job, the visuals, the sounds of it, of bringing it to life. There's just a connection there. But again, I think the biggest thing why it hits so hard is just because they're fiercely loyal in a world where it's all scheming and plotting.
If I could, real quick, Oak, and I think a lot of us relate to that because maybe some of us have pets or something along that line. And how many stories have you read? Somebody goes hiking with like this little teacup dog, and that dog will stand up against a mountain lion to try to protect its owner,
or stay by its side.
Or stay by its side. So I think we all have a connection there. Maybe that's what it is.
I was going to say the best dragons are How to Train Your Dragon. Toothless.
Come on, that's
fiercely
true.
Loyal.
But that just really kind of made me think.
But that is a very
we saw a lot of the tension from the last episode. And I had real strong feelings in the last episode about what Aegon did to Aemond, because Aemond was in. Look, he's a very powerful individual, was in a moment of extreme, he was very vulnerable with his first, and Aegon made fun of him, and he was mad about it. Look, you can, the humiliation at that table. Look, everybody knows, hey, we don't understand what they're saying, but look, the conversation, you didn't need to know what they were saying to understand the overall vibe of it. The fact that Aegon found out that Aemond and Sir Criston were plotting and planning behind his back, that happens in front of everybody, and so you slowly have Aegon feeling like he's losing his respect, he's losing his power, people are going around him, which leads us to Alicent telling him look, you had a good hand, you're running around here, you're being reckless. That was a pretty, like, and look, we know that Alicent isn't the most compassionate mom to to the boys from what we've seen in the past, but that was like a really like raw conversation she had with Aemond, or Aegon rather, and look, he had too much to drink and thought he was going to go, go to battle. I thought that was a really heavy scene. First off, we got to see some of the damage that the dragons can do. Somebody had left in the comments previously, and shout out to the person who made this comparison. They were like, it's essentially like just a bunch of, it's like nuclear war at the end, like everybody just throwing nukes at each other. It's like any sort of military power that you have, tanks, planes, anything, it's all pawns, as Answer said. It's just, look, it's basically just a bunch of people throwing nukes at each other, and that's why the reluctance to send all these dragons into battle with other dragons is there. So to see like this first dragon battle was really intense, but we also saw the dragons attacking, a lot of claws. Of course, we saw Meleys basically get the old neck chomp from Vhagar, but it was a really intense scene. Rhaenys could have flown away. After that, and she turned around and went right into battle.
And she strapped herself in, knowing that was going to be the last
and
run.
was going to attack Vhagar.
Yeah.
I mean, she said, if she wanted Meleys to attack, she was going to attack Vhagar, of course. Vhagar waiting in the wings, and when we cleared the castle, we saw what happened. But that was really intense. I'm curious to see, of course, Mason Quinn always says, look, if it didn't see it, it doesn't happen. So now we're set up for this next episode for this very interesting situation. Now, if Aegon is no longer with us, Sir Criston and Aemond can say, hey, we were just going to take this castle. Rhaenys showed up, and Rhaenys did this to Aegon. Now what you have is you already have a kingdom and a whole, slew of people who've, pledged their loyalty to Aegon, who are going to think, okay, not only did Rhaenyra go after Aegon's son, now they took out your king. Like, what an act of war. However, if Aegon is still with us,
well, and Cole saw Aemond draw his sword like he was going to do the deal.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. So if and Aegon saw Aemond, he thought Aemond was coming to his aid, right? If he saw Aemond do the whole, or of course he saw it, but if he's alive, he can point the finger at Aemond. Now it's interesting because we've seen in other films and TV shows where something like this happens, but the person it happens to is incapacitated and can't say anything, okay? So I'm wondering if we get Aegon, he's holed up in bed, can't really say anything, he knows, and meanwhile all this stuff is playing out. So they've really, really set us up for an interesting next episode, of course, the remainder of the season. The writing for this particular episode, for me, this is peak, I'm not going to say peak House of the Dragons, this is peak Game of Thrones. This is peak this universe. And of course, the writing, the author, I mean, there's that, but the way the show was written and directed, I mean, this is brilliant. This, for me, not just because of the dragon battles, this is the best episode of the season. And I might say this is the best episode of the series so far. And if you go back with the way some of the people didn't necessarily love some of the final seasons of Game of Thrones, this, for me, is just peak, and I am so invested.
I'm with you. I'm not ready to say it's peak of anything in this universe, but I think this is the episode that we were all waiting for, because all the bricks had to be laid, all the stories had to be told in those first couple episodes, and now we're really into it.
Well, because
we all kind of
now we need to figure out where do we go from here with
That's
everything.
the question. Where do we go from here? I mean, of course, look, what's going on with Daemon? I mean, he's out at Harrenhal,
dealing
having
with the
visions, the trees, with the
witch,
the
rivers, rivers.
I mean, just crazy. So, man,
what do you guys think of that scene that Rhaenys had with Alan? I thought that was curious. I mean, granted, she got the truth of what happened, But I thought it was interesting that she had that scene with him.
Yeah, that
and
was-
then she was written off.
That,
I didn't know where that was kind of going to go.
That really threw me off because, you know, I don't recall what that was referencing. Like maybe she had, you know, it almost felt like, you know, he hadn't told her who pulled him from the sea or exactly what happened.
The story was, yeah.
But it seemed like they touched on it and then like just completely walked away from it. So I'm guessing that that is going to be revisited at some point because that was a pretty heavy scene and really intense. Then they just kind of walked away from it. So I don't know if that's going to come full circle.
Well, I'm
but
sure it'll
seems like everything's coming full
Yeah.
circle
But
in
they
this
don't
show.
forget anything.
They will never forget.
Yeah.
So this was another great episode.
This was the episode
I hope
we were
you guys
waiting
enjoyed
for.
it as much as we did. So for Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I'm of course the answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.